It is my pleasure to introduce Nurul Begum, who will be taking over for RMA Best Practices. Nurul, I just sent you the presentation. You should be good to go.
Hi, yes, let me share my screen.
All right, I'm stop sharing, and the system is all yours.
Thank you. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Nurul here. So I'm the CSR manager for the team in APAC. So I'm going to share some of the best practices for RME, and let's get it started. First, let's some understanding of the RME process. Okay, so introduction to RME. So what is an RME? RME is a written merchandise authorization. So we call that in short form as RME. Is a process that allows customers to return defective products for replacement or repair. The importance of RME. So RME is crucial for maintaining customer satisfaction and trust, enabling efficient product returns and replacements for companies. So there are a couple of types of RMAs. It includes advanced replacement next business day, which is NBD, advanced replacement 4 hour, advanced replacement date on arrival, and of course warranty support slash standard or warranty replacement we call it, and the benefits of RMA. So these RMA types provide customers with flexibility and assurance in dealing with defective products, ensuring minimal disruption to their operations. Okay, next I'll move on. So this is our RMA process. So the whole process starts with the customer or partners creating a case with us. Then the tech team will validate. So once they validate and confirm that RMA is required, then the customer needs to share the mandatory details, which I will go in detail in the next few slides. So the mandatory details such as the defective serial number, part number, quantity, shipping address, site contact details are required to in order for us to proceed with the RMA. Then it will be passed on to the RMA team. The RMA team validates the entitlement and processes based on the support purchased. So different type of support purchased are entitled for different type of RMAs. Then the RMA is created. Our logistic team ships the RMA to the destination. Okay. So these are the types of RMAs offered, like I mentioned before. So NBD is next business day for our RMA, date on arrival RMA. So date on arrival is for international is 45 days, for US is 30 days. So standard support or warranty RMA. So let's start with our advanced replacement next business day RMA. This is a process overview. For advanced replacement, NBD, the service allows customers to receive the refurbished replacement unit via the next business day delivery. So shipping details. If the RMA is submitted by 3 p.m. local depot time, the replacement unit will ship the same day using the priority overnight service. This unit will be shipped on unit shipped on weekdays will get delivered on the next business day. If the same is shipped on Friday or weekend, the shipment will be initiated on the following Monday. More details on this. So advanced replacement, this is an example. So an RMA is initiated on Wednesday before 3 p.m. local time. All RMAs are based on local time. So it's processed on before local 3 p.m. The unit will be scheduled on the same day and delivered on Thursday. So RMA initiated on Thursday after 3 p.m. These are just an example. So Thursday after 3 p.m. local time, the unit will be scheduled on Friday and delivered on Monday. RMA initiated up on Friday after 3 p.m. local time. So meaning this is after 3 p.m. So we have already gone after the cutoff. The scheduled the scheduling will be done on Monday and the device will only be registered on Tuesday. So RMAs which are initiated So RMS will only be initiated after having all the mandatory information, which I will go through in detail in the next slide. So for next business day, there's no weekend delivery. So on Saturday, Sunday, we do not do any deliveries for next business day. So delivery next business days would not occur on a local holiday which falls midweek. So meaning that, for example, on Thursday, we have Diwali coming. So let's say that Wednesday after 3 p.m. cutoff, the RMA is submitted. So the RMA will be only scheduled on Friday, and the customer will only receive it on Monday. So this is the process and example. So these are the mandatory.
Question for you there.
Yeah,
When you're referring to local time, are you talking local time for the dispatch location, or is it local time for the customer?
a local time for the dispatch. So a local time in the country where the depot is.
Okay,
Yeah, so for example, let's say in Singapore, is in Singapore's local time. So usually the devices will be at the depots in each country. Most of the countries we do have depots, so it will be local time for on the depot.
fantastic. Just thought I'd clarify that. Thank you.
Sure. All right. Okay, let me move on. So mandatory information required. So these are the information. So we have about 12 to 13 fields which are mandatory, and the templates will be provided to the customer to fill up. Only after filling up this mandatory information, the RMA will be submitted. Please note this information needs to be provided. Then we will proceed to submit the RMA. If there is one or two information missing, please note that there will be delay in your RMAs. So these are the mandatory information: account or slash company name, and RMA shipping address, the city, the state or province, shipping country, the zip postal code, the site contact. So this would be the information where the person is waiting for the device. So this is the site contact, their phone number and email address. So every country have their own mandatory details to be provided. Basically, is their tax ID. Like for example, if it's in Brazil, the CNPJ and Inscrio Estadol is required. So both CNPJ and Inscrio Estadol is required in Brazil. So for India, GSTI number is required. And if it's in Mexico, the reference tax ID is required. So usually when customers provide, if this information is not provided, we will push back. And like I said, those will cause delay in the RME submission. So, and there are also special delivery instructions. For example, in India, we require a ticket number that is provided by the customer for to provide in the gate of the company. So like this ticket number is like a reference for them to open the gates for the device to be delivered to the particular company. So special delivery instructions, for example, ticket number, reference number, ID, the number of the gate that this device should be going to extra. So and sometimes it's also the business hours, like from business hours local time. So like this special delivery instruction is for basically telling us or the our logistic company to say that please ship within this timing from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that our team knows when to ship this device and when will the gates be open. So this is a reference of a ticket number for India. So asset recovery contact. So contact if the defective device is not within 10 days. So we usually expect the defective device returned back to us within 10 days. Let's say that within 10 days is not returned back, whom should we look for? So these are the details that that is required as well. So the contact name, contact telephone, and contact email address. This is usually the same person as the recipient details. So that is the person who is receiving the replacement device, and that is the person who should be returning back to us. Usually, this is a normal scenario. So please note, we will proceed with RMA only after the 12 mandatory fields are completed, 12 to 13 mandatory fields are completed. So So the 13th field is the mandatory tax ID information required for the specific countries that I mentioned. So yes, so let me move on. So for our replacement, this is the process overview. The 4-hour service guarantees refurbished replacement unit delivered within a 4-hour window from the moment the RMA team submits the order. So this is the shipping details. Once the order is submitted, Flash Logistic organizes immediate shipment to ensure replacement unit reaches the customer promptly. So the significance, the device will be delivered within 4 hours. The registered address or zip code must match the shipping details provided. The device is shipped on all days, 24 by 7 into 365 days. So for our RMA, the crucial part of for our RMA is providing the mandatory details with correct zip code and address. So for example, all 4 hours are registered in our system with the specific zip code. So when a customer submits the RMA, if they provided a different zip code, uh, in our system is different from the one that the customer provides. And when we try to contact the customer is not available. What will happen is this will go under advanced replacement next business day and not a 4-hour RMA. So unless we contact the customer, we manage to contact the customer, and they say that no, unfortunately, that is not the address that we want. We will proceed with next business day. However, if they say that, oh, 4 hour is, we provided the wrong address, the 4 hour should follow the address that is in our system, then we will proceed with 4 hour. So providing the correct zip code, which is matching our entitlement or their registration, is very important. And registering a device with the correct details is also important because um, in that way we will stock our refurbishments or devices accordingly in our depots. So how you registering a device is very important with the correct address details so that our depots are stocked well with the correct replacement models. So let me proceed. Advanced replacement DOA. So date on arrival. So date on arrival, the process overview. Factory new replacement unit will be shipped if the defective unit is within a date on arrival window. That is 30 days for domestic purchase and 45 days for international purchase. So 30 days domestic, it means that US purchase, and 45 days for any international purchase. So this means that for the device which is purchased in US, we will give 30 days time for it for it to be entitled for a DOA. So for international purchases, it's 45 days. So within 45 days, if the device is defective, we will give you a brand factory new replacement. So it's a brand new device. So shipping details. So factory new replacement units are shipped directly from the distribution centers in Sacramento and Amsterdam. So international DOA shipment will be shipped as warehouse transfer order. Significance: as a factory new replacement is shipped from Sacramento/Amsterdam, it takes a longer time to reach the customers due to the custom duties involved on the international shipment. So because we are shipping you a brand new device from our main depots in Sacramento and Amsterdam, this device are definitely going to take longer time to reach to you. So roughly 10 to 12 business days. So, and yeah, this business day shouldn't fall on any holidays in the US. So if it falls under that, it will take more time. And of course, custom duties. So different countries have different custom duties. So it depends on how long these customs will be cleared and the device can be delivered to you ASAP. But most of the time, our logistic team will try to deliver the devices as soon as possible to you. All right, so the next one. So this is standard support or warranty replacement. Standard support basically means that there is a purchase of standard support where it's okay. Let me just go through the flow and then I'll explain later. So process overview, it is applicable for devices with standard service. Basically, no support purchased by the customer. The customer must ship the defective unit to to our HQ at their own expense. So the shipping details, the returns team will coordinate the shipment of the replacement device to customer within 10 business day of the receipt of faulty device. The cost coverage, the customer to ship the unit to Palo Alto Network at their own cost, but in return, Palo Alto Networks will cover the shipping cost of the replacement device. Meaning, you will be shipping the defective device back to us using your own cost. The replacement device we will ship to you using our own cost. This is because there is no support purchased by the customer with us. So this is like they just purchased the device and they didn't. There is no support on it, or there's nothing on it. So that basically there's no support at all. So this is a very unique situation. All right, so let's move on. Special considerations in RMA. So spares overview. So device queued as spares are unique in that they are coded that licenses cannot be activated on them, but must be transferred from a defective device, a defective unit. So two types of spares. One is a spare. It's a cold spare sold to distributors, so they may advance replace RMAs for their end users. A spare is also shipped by logistics to end users and distributors and RMA replacement. So basically, this pair is a SKU actually. If you notice, when you register a replacement device to you, it will go under the spare, like Daniel was explaining in slides 78 onwards, 77 to 78 onwards. So these SKUs will be registered as SPR-SPR, and these queues are basically empty devices with no licenses on them. So these devices, the licenses can only be transferred from the defective unit to the replacement unit, which is a spare SKU. So all our RMA replacements are skewed with dash SPR, which is a spare device. So yes, of course, our distributors, our partners have a spare queue in their end, just so that when a customer device fails on spot, they can assist to transfer the licenses to their own spare and ship the devices to their customers, and in return they will do a RMA with us, and we will replace their spare. So we will send them a spare replacing the spare that they send to the customers. So an on-site spare is a OSS, is a cold spare sold to end users to allow immediate replacement of production devices. So licenses are transferred to spare from defective platforms. So for example, customer has 5 devices and one spare, one OSS. So this is like a standby device. So anytime in which 5 devices, any one of them fails, for example, one fails, they can actually quickly transfer the licenses from that defective to the OSS, and in turn, when they can do the RME on the defective device, and we will ship the customer another spare to replace their OSS. So missing instructions. So customers can request missing instructions by accessing customer service portal, support cases, RMA case. Customers can request a new set of written instructions by clicking on the missing written instructions icon in the RMA tracking section of the case. Alternatively, of course, customers can contact the RMA team via the case comments asking for a new set of written instructions. Usually, all RMAs are coming with written instructions on the device unless it goes missing in between the shipment. So, and let's say that the customer has missed it or not received it, they can click on this request written instructions under the RMA tracking portion of your cases. So these are the details on the RMA tracking. The button is just there. So you just need to click it, and a written instruction actually will be sent to you via the case comments. All right, let me move on. So importer of records. So the countries without an in-country depot, customer must provide the importer of record details. So the advance replacement must ship to a confirmed importer of record or customer elected freight forwarder to carry out importer of record duties. So the importer of record is responsible for importing the goods into the country. They serve as the primary point of contact for custom authorities and take responsibility for ensuring that all imported devices reach the customer's destination. So basically, importer of record, most probably it will be the distributors in the country. So they will be in charge of you know shipping out the defective device and of course receiving the replacement device. So these details, our logistic team will contact them, and then from there, both our logistic team and the importer of records will work together to bring in the devices and return the devices accordingly. So this is when there is no in-country depot. Some countries will we are not able to have depots. So this is for really special countries which we cannot have depots in those countries. So of course we will reimburse the importer of records. So Palo Alto Networks would ship duty and delivery paid to the entity in that country, identified to us as importer of records. An attempt will be made to ship via DTP, but in the event that is not possible, the invoice will be emailed to service logistics at paloaltonetworks.com for reimbursement of fees. So customer must also physically mail invoice from their company address to the below Palo Alto Networks BV address with details of uh, the elected changes for the charges for the related RMA replacement. So this is the address. So invoice must be noted in US dollars. Payment due date must be due upon receipt. Invoice must confirm RMA number and details for noted reinstatement. Noted reimbursement. So important policies, country-specific requirements. So, like I said, mentioned before, the shipments to Brazil, it will be CNPJ, uh, tax ID, India, GSTIN, and Mexico RFC. So, customer tax identification number is mandatory for these three countries. So, exclusion from coverage. So, Palo Alto Network support subscriptions do not cover devices destroyed by fire, natural disasters, or customer negligence. So the damage unit must be covered through customers' corporate insurance. So even stalled devices are not covered under covered by us. So you need to have a corporate insurance for that as well. So next business day depots ship Monday through Friday, subject to daily 3 p.m. cutoff worldwide. So 4 hour depots every day of the week, including holidays, 24 by 7 times 365 days. So customers are advised to remove, so the return preparation. So customers are advised to remove all mounting hardware from the faulty appliance prior to returning. So we do not ship our replacement device with mounting devices, mounting accessories. So when you're returning the defective device back to us, please remove all the mounting hardware and keep. So we do not ship our replacement devices with any accessories. So unless if you're accidentally done that, most probably you have to contact your local solution consultants to get an accessories, or you have to actually purchase it from our orders team, contacting your sales team. So yeah, please make sure that all mounting hardware are removed when you're providing just the defective device back to us. So yeah, that's it for the RMA process overview. So please feel free to ask any questions in the chat. And yeah, I'll be here for a bit to answer the questions. Thank you. I'll hand it over to Charles.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I know this has been very interesting for me. I've actually got a couple of firewalls myself. I didn't even know about the whole license transfer process. I learned something new today as well. So this is very fascinating. We don't have any current questions waiting. We'll be here for a few more minutes. if you can go ahead and stop sharing, I'll go ahead and let you go as a presenter, and I'll take back over.
All right.
Naru, thank you very much again for all this. We really appreciate it. I'm sure this is going to be another one. I'm sure all three of these videos today, once we split them up and put them into live community on the YouTube channel, we're going to get a lot of stuff up there. We do actually have a question that came in before I let you go. George is asking, if the refurbished replacement unit shipped is DOA, will the DOA policy apply, meaning that you shipped a factory new device?
If the refurbished replacement unit shipped is DOA. Okay, so basically, DOA is date on arrival. The device. Okay, so usually when we ship most of our devices, meaning you purchase a device from us, is brand new device, right? So if it's within 30 days in US, or if it's in international, 45 days is within the shipment date is 45 days, we will actually give you back a brand new device. But however, it's after 45 days, you realize that, oh dear, the device is um, faulty. It's after 45 days, then unfortunately, it will be next business day. Did I answer your question?
I think what George is actually asking is, if the refurbished device that he receives is dead on arrival, will the DOA policy will it actually be shipped faster than if the replacement device that he got was dead as he received it?
Unfortunately, we will. Try to ship you another refurbished replacement unit. It's based on the circumstance it is. So we will actually ship you another refurbished device, not a DOA.
Fantastic. Yep. So glad we were able to get that answered for you, George. Thank you very much. Again, if anyone has any other questions last minute, go ahead. I will go ahead and let Naru go now. Again, thank you very much. We really appreciate it.